What's good, Chaotic Nation? It is your boy Chaos here, coach of the Detroit Red Wingles, and we are bringing you another week of PDL team builders. This week is week 5. Can I stop getting updates? Thank you! Week 5 PDL team builder versus Suede and the Cuerda Syndiquils. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are ready to see the team breakdown. This is probably the team that I really didn't want to show off the most. As I've said, with doing each coach twice, you have the chance of you could bring the same set again. But if you have a team builder like this, obviously then go and break it down and figure it out. So that's a thing that can happen when jumping team builders like this. So I'm hoping that it's not too taken to heart or whatnot, because I will change it up. I have changed it up. And this team is different from last time we fought Suede. I don't even remember. Let me pull up the old Suede. I have a completely different sheet from the first battle. So I'll put my second sheet over here, just so I can keep track of it. Actually, it fits really nicely into my stream deck. Maybe that's a play I should think about doing. Anyways, we got Grimstar here with Life Orb this week, as you can see above my head, and as you've been seeing the entire time. We are running a pretty offensive Grimstar. We are running a Brave nature this week, and Brave is a very fun nature because it's attack over speed. And one of the things about Grimstar is it's a super slow mon. It's one of the lowest base stat speed stats for any fully evolved Pokemon. So we are sitting at exactly 78 speed, 76 speed at 100 at level 100. Obviously, we're going to be sitting about 50 since everything's set to level 50. So we are going to be very, very slow. We have a 40 base speed, so instead of investing in it, I'm taking away from it. I'm making it a little bit of a hindrance for the team. And you'll see why in a little bit. Of course, Emergency Exit's my ability, because that's the only one I can have. And I got Liquidation, Leech Life, Poison Jab, and Aqua Jet. Leech Life and Liquidation, obviously, for stab. Aqua Jet for priority. And then Poison Jab for a little bit of coverage for things like that Togekiss that are fairy types. And that I'm expecting to see. So with this moveset, Gliscopod deals with Blaziken, Darmanitan, Espeon. It's a pretty good check to Haxorus, Klefki, Leafeon, maybe Scrafty, maybe Tangrowth, maybe Togekiss, Volcarona, and it has a very specific niche as a sweeper. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll talk about that right now. We got Trick Room this week. We bring a Trick Room with Mimikyu. So we are running Trick Room, Sweeper, Gliscopod. These two are going to be my main pair. Suede has a lot of fast mons on his team that are outspeeding my team. He's sitting low. The only thing that's really slow is the Torkoal at 20, which I'm not too worried about if that's faster than my Gliscopod in Trick Room, but Gliscopod is 40 and it's slower than the rest of his team. So running a negative speed nature means I'm going to be slower than even things like Tangrowth, even Scrafty in Trick Room, unless they are holding the room service, which lowers your speed one stage. So I'm going to be slower than all of them because I'm at 76. They have to literally be holding that to even get close to me, and it's still kind of a calc there, I think. But a lot of things that Gliscopod does well is it's just a really good offensive attacker, but it just needs to be set up, and Trick Room is going to be able to do that. So I got Mimikyu this week to set up that Trick Room to help me out. I have a slower team, so I wanted to be able to hold a little bit of speed control. Obviously, I have the ways to change that out of Trick Room if I need to, and Mimikyu is a really good Pokemon to set it up because I have Disguise, which allows me to get hit one time. The first turn I get hit, I have Trick Room. We go from there. Shadow Claw, Play Rough, or Stab moves for just damage, obviously. And I have Swords Dance to boost my stats a little bit to set up if I need to, if Mimikyu needs to be the one that sweeps. That's the thing, too. As you may notice, I have a wrong nature. I should be a Brave speed, but I didn't really care about it. So I'm running Defense over Special Defense, which is fun. I actually don't know what nature that is. It's Lax nature. So I'm running Lax this week. I don't really think that the speed's going to matter too much. If it does, well, too bad. But I am holding Room Service, as I talked about. I couldn't remember the move. I could have just switched to Mimikyu and figured it out. But I am holding Room Service, so I do lower my speed stat one stage. So I'm sitting at a base 177. And by pulling up a calc real quick for Mimikyu, I believe that Mimikyu would be sitting at about, let's see if I'm a custom build on. I do not. I have the one for the last time I used Mimikyu. But if I'm running 0 IV, which it is, I am 197 without minimizing speed. At -1, that puts me at 131, which, to give you a reference on matchups for that, 131 is slower than, would put me slower than Togekiss and Trick Room, which is 80 base speed stat. Actually, I said 131, yes. Yeah, I'd be slower than Klefki and Trick Room. So that can be used to my advantage a little bit there as a way to kind of deal with a little bit of these faster things. Prankster obviously is going to be there for Klefki if it shows up, but I'll talk about his team in a little bit. But yeah, the plan is to run Mimikyu with Trick Room, get it set up, sweep with the other two if needed, and so it beats Blaziken based on speed. Volcarona a +2, Haxorus if it's Trick Room and has the Disguise up. I have to have both to beat Haxorus because it just bops me. Darmanitan at 50%, or if I'm at +2, because that'll be 100%. Espeon, Scrafty, Torkoal, and Torkoal's is my massive setup. If Torkoal's on the field first, Mimikyu has a way to deal with the Trick Room. I set up in its face and I proceed to sweep that way. I do have Trick Room, and that is the main strategy with Mimikyu, is to set that up, let Gliscopod go off, have a good time with that. Up next, we got Grimstar, and, Grimstar was something I tried to use last time around. It didn't work so well for me, but I did change up the set a little bit this week. I am running a eject button because Grimstar's priority is not to transfer items, not to lose items, but to be an annoyance. So what I can do is if we see a lagging tail Klefki again, like last time, eject button is switched on to the Klefki, I then hit it, it then pops out, and I have a better matchup coming in next time, and I can set up and run my fade the way I want to run my fade. So that's a lot of fun, and the big purpose of Grimstar. So I can kind of make Klefki useless, not have to worry about an item really there. Also, I can run Prankster, anti-Prankster to shut it down. So if he does attack me, I do get a free switch out to something, and that will allow me to do some other work. So I could like taunt. I could use my I have taunt and Thunder Wave and Reflect and Body Press. That's my moveset. So I could taunt the Klefki, shut down its a technician, its Prankster kind of moveset, and then be hit with the eject button, switch out to something that can deal with Klefki. And that's the plan with Grimstar primarily. I do think Klefki's a big threat, so I want to have my bases checked. And I skipped over the stats, and I also didn't mention it here, but you can see the sets above me, by the way, are always calc for 100, level 100, so it does get a little bit reduced when we go down to 50, but that's basically what it's going to be looking at. But we are running max HP, max defense, so we're almost at 400 HP at level 100. We're about 230 on defense, and I have a little bit of special defense investment. This will allow me to live a few hits, and I wanted to be defensively investment because of body press. So I do have that on the moveset as well. I have Reflect to shut down offensive Pokemon. I have Thunder Wave to shut down fast Pokemon if Trick Room is not a viable option for that round. And then I have Taunt, obviously, to deal with setup sweepers or deal with people who want to use setup moves or non-damaging moves. So that is a thing I can run with Grimstar. I don't know if I did talk about Mimikyu's usefulness. We're talking about Grimstar right now. Grimstar is an anti-speed boost Blaziken check. It beats Darmanitan because I can cripple it with Thunder Wave and Reflect. So I can check that thing pretty well. I beat Haxorus with Para. Klefki with Taunt is my main strategy with this. That's what it's built for. So that's what it's there for. It beats Leafeon if it tries to set up Sunny Day Para. I can shut down that Chlorophyll ability. And it also anti-Stealth Frost, anti-Swords Dances if it wants to be a Swords Dance Leafeon set. I don't expect that, but I can shut up Reflect, and I can Thunder Wave it, and I can Taunt it, so I can shut it down effectively. It beats Togekiss with a Paraflinch, so I don't have to worry. It beats Togekiss with Para, so I don't have to worry about flinch checks there. I try to collide everything together. So I can shut down Togekiss with the flinch. I saw a crit build, I think, last time around. I can check my week 2 settings. I don't know if I actually got information on Togekiss. I know it has Air Slash, and I'm pretty sure it's either crit or it's probably crit flinch build. More offensive and more of a bulky offensive Pokemon, if my assumption was right last time. It also beats Torkoal with anti-setup. It wants to do like Shell Smash or something. And it beats Volcarona for anti-Quiver and setup. So, in a lot of ways, actually. You know, the Taunt Thunder Wave is a really good pairing here this week, on especially a faster team. So, this gives me something besides Mimikyu, Golisopod, Trick Room setup to work on the other side of things. So, we can see how that works out. Up next, we got Darmanitan. And I felt really bad because I was really stupid in the week 2 video and kind of was like, Darmanitan would be really good. So, I'm hoping Suede didn't pay attention to that. We're running Sheer Force Darmanitan this week. Max speed, max attack. You've seen this set before. The fun part about this set is its moveset, which I won't wait anymore. It's got Fling. And Fling is a lot of fun this week because it's kind of my utility item here. This is a counter to Klefki. So again, that lagging tail is a really annoying, or whatever item it wants to give me can be very annoying. I can just fling it back off. So I don't have to worry about that this week. I have Flare Blitz, Rock Slide, and Earthquake for coverage. Also Stab on Flare Blitz and Sheer Force is going to make them a lot more powerful because I don't get the flinch, I get Rock Slide more damage. And Flare Blitz doesn't get, I think, Burn. And does more damage, excuse me. I am running Choice Band this week, so if he does switch me out, that Klefki gets locked into Switcheroo or something like that, which can be a pain in the butt for me. So really, honestly, taunting it is not. It is a strategy, but if I bring Grim and Darmanitan, I probably will just Thunder Wave it, slow it down, and then and have it change for Para, and then I could just mess around with it with the set on Darmanitan here. Especially with Choice Band, because I could Choice Band Flare Blitz and maybe one-shot it, or if it used Prankster, I'm not Choice Band anymore, it has something else, I can fling the item off. So, that works well for that. But Darmanitan does beat with the Choice Band set anyway. It is a perfect counter to Klefki, that's the whole point of it. It beats Blaziken, Darmanitan, and Trick Room, so it's another way to beat Galarian Darmanitan, because Galarian Darmanitan probably is going to be Choice Scarf. That's typically how it's run, Choice Scarf or Choice Banded. Really doesn't need anything else, maybe Expert Belt. But it is very fast, so I can shut that down. And really, I saw that do a lot of work in some previous matches. So I wanted to make sure I covered that with something, and here we go. That's what I got. Trick Room is a really good counter for that. As long as it doesn't set it up itself. It's got a weird matchup versus Espeon, but can also do it. It beats Leafeon as long as it outspeeds it, so no Chlorophyll boosted. Leafeon, I went up to Grimstar like a dum-dum. It also can beat Rotom Wash in the Sun, because you'd be astounded at how much damage Choice Banded Flare Blitz does with Sheer Force in the Sun. It is kind of, yeah, so I have a counter to his Sun team there, if he wants to run the Sun this week. It beats Zeroff. What is Zeroff? Scrafty. I can't read my own writing. Beats Scrafty, beats Tangrowth, it beats Togekiss, and has not a great matchup versus Torkoal, honestly, but still can do some work, and also is Rock Slide for Volcarona. So Darmanitan can do a lot of work on the offensive side. It's going to be playing in that weird speed realm, since it is built with max speed just to outspeed some things. I'm sitting 317, which as long as things aren't, that'll tie me with Leafeon outside of Sun, and that's really the main point of it. It's a speed tie at that point in time. It's the same thing with base form Galarian Darmanitan. So I have a speed tie there as long as it's not scarfed. So hopefully that works in my favor too. And so it's a lot of speed ties this week. I couldn't invest it slower because I needed it to outspeed the regular things. Unfortunately, I don't have enough to outspeed Darmanitan unless I run Scarf, but that doesn't give me enough damage output, so I can't do that this week. I think I have 2 more Pokemon left. We got Aerodactyl coming this week. I brought Aerodactyl last time, and Aerodactyl kind of didn't do anything, so I wanted to give him a chance to get some revenge. And honestly, Aerodactyl is a pretty cool Pokemon for this team. I know I brought Tailwind set last time to try to do some damage there, but not really helping me out so far. So we got something different this week. Running again max speed, max attack. I think I've brought the same kind of Aerodactyl every week, essentially. So, but I did change up the moveset. I swapped a Tailwind for Stealth Rock. That's the only thing that changed. Rock Slide and Earthquake, obviously good moves. Rock Slide, Stab, Dual Wing Beat, Stab too, as well for those grass types. I am very fast. I set at 130 base speed, and I'm maxed out at level 100. I'm almost reaching 400, which is kind of cracked, if I say so myself. It is a very fast, very, very fast Pokemon, and nothing on his team outspeeds me. It's a great counter for Volcarona and for that very fast speed, as well as Blaziken if it tries to set up speed boost. So that's what it's there. But he does have a Sun team. He does have a lot of fire types, as well as a Togekiss that is weak to rock, as well as some chip damage. It's always not a bad idea, so I do have Stealth Rocks to set up against Suede to kind of mitigate his playing with switching out. I know Suede likes to switch out a lot. He's a very good singles battler, and that is a good trademark of singles battling, is being able to predict switches, switch out when you need to, and come back in and do stuff. So that will kind of make him think about it a little bit more. Probably not. So he probably already knew I was going to bring Stealth. He probably already knows my team and is just ready to mollywop me, so I'm not worried about it. We're just going to have fun today. But I am running a very fun move this week. I'm running Weakness Policy because, as we saw, another way to deal with Klefki. Klefki likes to use Flash Cannon. That was the move it had on it last week, last time we fought. So if I get hit with the Flash Cannon, I am then very fast. And I'm +2 in both special attack and attack. Although the special attack doesn't matter much, I'm max invested in attack. And just to give you a hint of Aerodactyl, max invested with special attack here. My attack stat goes from a from a very low 309 to a really high number. I think that's. I'm trying to think about I can't do the calc in my head. I'm pretty sure that's a 2x boost at that point in time. So I would jump up to 600, which is kind of fun. And good damage. So outspeeding everything, one-shotting everything, barring Choice Scarf, Galarian Darmanitan, which I want to calc real quick to see that matchup here. Just so I can talk about it a little bit. Choice Scarf, Uber Darmanitan. Darmanitan would outspeed at that point in time. It hits 475. The good part is, if I can get it locked into something that's not Icicle Crash or Rock Slide, something not super effective, I can proceed to do a lot of damage to it. The problem is, so again, it's going to switch out. The good part about Galarian Darmanitan, Zen Mode takes effect, because we know it has to be Zen Mode. So Zen Mode, actually, only Icicle Clash is the only thing that can kill me from full. If I'm +2, even if I'm not +2, Rock Slide's still one shot. So that's very nice. But I do knock him into Zen Mode, which I don't know how Zen Mode Darmanitan is going to be dealing with stuff. I don't really want to kind of see that happen. But the Uber Choice Scarf Zen Mode Darmanitan can do a lot. Can actually do a lot to me. Again, it's a really Icicle Crash and a chance on Rock Slide. But I do make it stuck so it cannot switch out at that point in time. So then I can find a way to whittle around it. If it means bringing Mimikyu, take a hit and destroy it on the next turn, because it's like 55 in both defenses. So like it's very, very, very fragile here. So I mean, I could do that, hit it on the recoil, and do a lot of damage. It's so weak that at 100%. In Zen Mode, if he's not invested, Aerodactyl one-shots him with pretty much every move on his moveset without investment with Weakness Policy. So that's kind of fun. And he also's got to be thinking about that Focus Sash in the back. So he might just stay in and get a chip on me. And not going to matter. So that's a little bit of the mind games with Aerodactyl this week. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited to use Aerodactyl with a different set of focus sash, so weakness policy can do a lot of work. I've talked a lot about Aerodactyl. Let's talk about what he's good at. Beats Blaziken, beats Volcarona, beats Darmanitan, beats Tangrowth, beats Darmanitan if he's not scarfed, and or if he's scarfed into a bad move. So if he gets scarfed into something like Flare Blitz, we're taking that for days and killing him. So Aerodactyl can do a lot of work in that sense, especially even predicting a switch there and getting a Stealth Rocks up for a recut for a comeback in. That'd be very nice. And plus, I do have Aqua Jet on a Gliscopod that can revenge kill too. So yay! I thought about that a lot. It beats Tangrowth on a good day, beats Togekiss on a good day, and Torkoal on a good day. Torkoal is kind of Monka-esque, but if he does have something like Rock Slide doing a little bit of damage to me, because I doubt Torkoal's going to be physically invested, or something like that, I can get a weakness policy boost and just proceed to sweep. So that's kind of the go-to here is get weakness policy and sweep. I beat Scrafty. Klefki I do beat, and that is a primary target to Stealth Rock. A good way to set that up. So that is Aero's set. It's more of a tactile set and more of a hey, tailwind kind of thing. For speed control, especially since Trick Room's going to be a go-getter. I probably will lead Mimikyu first match and set up the Tailwind, the Trick Room, so that'll be a thing. Alright, and last but not least, we are bringing Alolan NineTails. I traded for Alolan NineTails, most specifically for this match. I didn't have a really good way to deal with Haxorus, and NineTails is my perfect counter to that, both being an Ice and a Fairy type, which are super effective against Dragon, while also not being weak to Dragon as well. I'm holding Never Melt Ice this week because, fun fact, I'm not running anything but ice moves, because I'm funny. And I choose to bring an ice type to a sun team, yay. But I am running Blizzard, Freeze Dry, and Aurora Veil. I'm in Nasty Plot this week. Aurora Veil and Nasty Plot are damage mitigation and damage boosting moves, respectfully. Aurora Veil does give me a chance to live things. I talked about how busted Galarian Darmanitan is. I have a way to shut that down with Aurora Veil. I can also set up Nasty Plot if I get a chance, and then NineTails goes off, so that's a lot of fun. I have Blizzard for stab. It's also always going to be snowing, except for if Sun is set up. So as long as NineTails is on the field, hopefully we have our Hail, and we can do a lot of damage there. Freeze Dry for the counter in Rotom Wash, and I think that's his only water type, but that is the counter for that. I am running a max speed, max special attack this week. Not max speed, actually. Running 160 speed and 252 max special attack. 96 investment in HP. I wanted a little bit of a bulkier set. Also, it doesn't make sense for me to max out NineTails' speed. I'm at 109. Maxing out puts me at 348, which is slower than Espeon by 2 points. So I can't win that unless I Scarf, and I don't want to do that. And if I don't invest at all, if I'm making a neutral nature, I'm speed tying with Galarian Darmanitan at positive nature and max EV's investment. So I went a little bit in the middle here, kind of playing around some of the faster mons. I said I was sitting at, what, 317? 323? I'm slower than Volcarona. I wasn't going to outspeed Volcarona anyway, unless I was max speed, so when I do that. But 323 outspeeds some of the big threats like Leafeon outside of Sun. And honestly, it is specifically speed calc to beat Haxorus. Max speed Haxorus with a boosting ability is 322. Obviously, I'm built at 323, just one above that, so that way I can outspeed the Haxorus. I'm not really worried about outspeeding Volcarona. I have other counters for that, so this is my primary answer to Haxorus, and I shouldn't even have to tell you that NineTails is my primary counter to Haxorus, and that's what it's here for. So that's a lot of fun. Blaziken is a potential opponent, especially if I have Veil up. Espeon as well in Veil. Leafeon, Rotom, Scrafty, Tangrowth, and Togekiss all go down to Alolan NineTails. It's not really the biggest damage doer on my team. Obviously get stuffed by things like Klefki, things like Volcarona that are faster, and Blaziken and Galarian Darmanitan if they get set up. But it beats the rest of the slower mons, the ones that I don't really have a lot of coverage for, because I kind of, if you haven't figured out, invested a lot into beating that Klefki this week. and I invested a lot into beating that Haxorus, so I wanted to make sure I had those two things covered, because they kind of stuffed me the first time around, and I'm not letting that happen again if I can control it. But anything else with it, yeah, Nevermelt Ice is really just there for more damage on Ice type moves. I thought about things like Expert Belt or Life Orb, NineTails. They didn't make sense to me because one Expert Belt's 1.3 times, Expert Belt's 1.1 times, so I could get more damage off with this move with Nevermelt Ice, and I don't have to worry about being super effective. And Life Orb is 1.3 times, but I take a little bit of damage, and I don't really need NineTails taking more damage than it needs to do. And also just not really that important. So NineTails with Nevermelt Ice, fun to use. It's going to be a fun set, and I'm excited to see it happen. So what do I think that Suede is going to be bringing this week? Suede is going to be bringing probably the best Fairy Dragon Steel Core in the game, which is Haxorus, Klefki, and Togekiss. And I know Klefki is 2 of those things, but it counts as the Steel type here. If you watch the first time around, in week 2, Klefki and Haxorus, as I mentioned, kind of stuffed me, so I really wanted to counter that. I wanted to make him use something else, and he's been using Klefki a lot this season, so I really doubt it doesn't. I really bet it comes. I could see some counters here, some trade in and outs on the sub list for this Fairy Dragon Steel Core is Rotom Wash for that Togekiss. Togekiss doesn't have the best matchup versus my team. It has a pretty solid one, but really not the best one. So I kind of could see the Rotom Wash coming in, trying to deal with things like Aerodactyl and Lissapod and Politoed and those kind of things that I have on my team. Electric type to deal with my waters and my flyers. So I could see that being a direct switch out. I do expect Tangrowth to come back again this week. Tangrowth is a very nice counter to some of my strategies. Being that it's super bulky, and if I go hyper offense and it's super bulky and it can outlast me, especially with Regenerator, that's going to be a really annoying move. So that's a pain in the butt. I do expect a little bit more of an offensive one because I am predicting Torkoal this week as well. I expect the Sun. I think Suede wants to show off the Sun since he didn't really use it the first 3 sets. And that's the first 3 weeks of the season. So I think he wants to show off that Sun, and that'll be what he wants to do with that. So I'm expecting that to be his strategy, and then Volcarona in the back. I thought about Blaziken as maybe a switch out here, or Darmanitan as a switch out here, or Darmanitan as a way to counter my Snow Warning. But I really expect Volcarona to kind of come in here and do the work. We had it week 1, and it really didn't get to do much. He thought it was good enough to bring 1 set. So I kind of expect to see it again. Maybe it's set up, maybe we can deal with it, but we'll see how it goes. But I wish the best to my opponent, Suede, this week. You don't need it, honestly. RNG's been on your side since week 1. So let's see if we can beat the RNG this week. See if our prep is a lot better. I just want my prep to be better than last time. My prep last time was garbage. And I know some of you guys are like, hey, you actually did pretty well. You just got unfortunate. No, my prep was really bad. So I wanted to counter that and make, as long as I'm doing the things, taking steps in the right direction, we're good. As I said, this match doesn't really matter to me because win or lose, I'm going to be fighting Suede probably in the championships anyway, barring that something random happens with Wolfos and she just wins the rest of her matches, which includes beating me next week. So as long as I can shut that down, I think I pretty much got it in the bag that I'm making playoffs. I broke this down on stream the other day. If Suede's 7-0, I'm 5-2. Wolfos is, 2-5, and 2E is 0-7. I get in. So essentially, if I get that 5-win mark, we're good. I know it's only week 5 and I'm down a set already, but if I can pull out a win these next 2 weeks, then I'm guaranteed. So that's the plan. Take it 1 week at a time. Let's see if we can beat Suede. I'll catch you guys in the video tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss the content. And if you're honestly not watching the Heart Gold Randomizer Nuzlocke, go check it out. As well as I do theories and top 5s and other random videos on Saturdays occasionally. So check that out. I've been kind of busy with work lately, but as of now, as of you watching this, I've left my job, so I have more time. Not really. I'm taking a vacation this week, so it'll be fun. I'll see you guys over in the battle, though. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Catch you next time. So until then, my name is Chaos, and I'm signing off. Stay safe, and as always,